to the first interview of 2023, and we are joined by none other than Parker Porter, who makes his return to action at UFC 284 in Perth against Justin Tafa. Parker, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate it. How are things with you today?
Things are good, man. I'm feeling really good. Just got back from I'm a assistant coach for a high school wrestling team this year, and we just got back from a meet, and we walked away with a nice big W from that. So we're feeling pretty good today.
Awesome, man. Look, man, obviously, we're pretty pumped that you're making your way down here in a month and a half time. Is this your first time coming to Australia? And if so, what is it that you've heard or know about Australia and Australians in general?
It is my first time coming down to Australia, but I mean, from what I've heard, like you guys are all pretty chill, but you call it like you see it, and I respect that, and I feel like I fit right in there in that sense. And there's just a lot of wildlife and crazy shit that could kill you.
Yeah. Somewhat.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, look, Parker, having fought in both Bellator and the UFC, what did you find was the biggest difference in fighting in each organization? Whether it was the marketing, the production, or, how things are run behind the scenes on the night of the fight?
Everything. Everything's really different. So when I fought for Bellator, I was on the undercard the two times that I did. It was, it definitely didn't have all the bells and whistles that the UFC has with their undercard event. The marketing, the promotion, just the overall professionalism from the top down to the bottom. I know people are like, you don't get taken care of unless you're one of the top guys. It's like, no, you do get taken care of quite well, actually. It's just that those guys get taken care of a little better because they're at the top of the food chain right now. It's no different than if you were in working at a good, Fortune 500 company where it's like everybody's taken care of, but the executive officers have slightly better benefits and salary kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Look, Parker, this is your first professional fight outside of the United States. When you did get the contract to fight Justin Tafa and saw that it was in Australia, what was your initial reaction to coming down here?
Oh, taxes.
Yeah.
That's a bitch. That was the first one. Yeah. But other than that, I was pumped, man. I'm excited to be coming to Australia. I've always wanted. It's on my bucket list of places to see throughout the world. I want to start traveling a little bit more. This is the opportunity to check that one off my list. And I'm just super excited to have a crowd in an arena because all of my fights in the UFC have been at the Apex Center.
Of course.
First couple you could hear a pin drop, and then even when they started having crowds at the Apex, there's only so many people that they could fit into there. It's such a smaller venue.
Sure. So, Parker, looking at the fight with Justin Tafa in February, while of course at heavyweight, pretty much everyone hits hard and can, switch each other's lights off with one shot. Can you see any unique problems that Justin can present going into the fight, or are you more focused on simply implementing your game plan and letting the fight play out as it will?
I'm usually more focused on my game plan and what I plan to do to impose will. That's the whole fight game. I'm trying to dominate and I'm trying to make sure that I can play my game and he can't play his game. So that's where my focal point is. It doesn't write off anything. Obviously, he's got big power. Everybody at heavyweight for the more or less does. But I'm actually really excited about this fight. I think it's a great fight for the fans, especially because we both have very similar styles, and we like to put our chin down, bite down on a mouthpiece, and come forward and start throwing leather.
Yep, 100%. Parker, you've been in the game now, come up to 16 years, and as everyone knows, the heavyweight division is more an older man's game. How much longer are you looking at competing, and what are some goals that you have till now to the end of your career? When it's all said and done.
Realistically, I'd like to make sure that I can get into my 40s. I'm 37. I'll be 38 in April. Mm-hmm. I want to keep going at this as long as I'm physically capable of it, and this still works just fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I have something to offer to the sport. Be that whether it's entertaining fights or just experience in general. I want to give something back to it because I really genuinely love the sport, and I'm just lucky enough to get paid for doing what I love. But my goals right now. I would like to get 15 fights in the UFC before I hang them up. This will be fight number 6, so that's a very realistic, very attainable. At least 15, if not 20.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the goal is always to make it up to the top and get that belt. But right now, the goal that I'm fixated on is getting a number next to my name. I want to get ranked.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
So, Parker, you had a period away from the sport for, personal reasons and to sort of secure the financial security for your family. Did you find that time away from the sport, if anything, added fuel to the fire for the passion that you clearly have for the sport when you did come back?
I don't know that it necessarily added to the fire so much as it made me really kind of streamline things and really clean up and be able to focus on being as effective and efficient as I could be. It was almost like a chance to kind of shut down and rebuild and just give myself a different perspective on how I should be approaching things with my training, with my diet, with my lifestyle in general. But yeah, that fire never really went any lower during that time off. If anything, like you said, it grew a little bit, but it stayed pretty strong. I just always wanted to come back to it.
Yep, 100%. Look, Parker, man, last one from us. We don't keep you too long. It's late. It's 8 o'clock there, so
No.
we don't want to keep you too long, man. I know you're probably tired after a big day, but last one, man, is as a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu yourself, do you have any interest in...
Just got my black belt 2 weeks ago.
Hey,
congrats.
Congratulations, that's awesome. Well, I'll reframe that as a newly crowned black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Do you have any interest in competing in some high profile grappling matches, as we're seeing more Jiu-Jitsu events? Most recently, the one I believe it was Julian Robinson and Rose Namajunas were the main event, and guys like Eric Anders competing in these very entertaining grappling events. Would you like to take part in those as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's something that I would have already been taking part in if it was going on years ago. Like the big issue with grappling early on is it was so important for MMA, but there was nothing on its own where people could actually generate revenue or income, and it wasn't quite as popular as it's become now and become this mainstream sport that everybody is just totally gravitating to.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I could definitely love to jump into that.
Well, I'd love to see it. And look, man, like I said before, thank you so much for your time. It's always an honor and a privilege to talk to you guys, and especially yourself, man. You're our first interview for 2023, so thank you very much. Look, we wish you the best of luck against Justin Tafa at UFC 284 in Perth, and hopefully you get to spend some time after the fight here. There's some good holiday spots, so if you want any of those, maybe give yourself.
At the very least, I need to make a trip back with the wife and the kids and spend some time relaxing and enjoying the scene.
100%. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Parker. Appreciate your time, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Parker.
Very much, man.